Hey guys, welcome back to NY Sports MC. If you are just joining for the first time, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so that we can have you coming back here. Please comment in the comments below as love the interactions with you guys, hear your thoughts on different things, give me ideas for the upcoming videos as well. This is going to be my last mock draft before the draft takes place on Thursday. I've been saying through a lot of my mock drafts I was going to do one with a select wide receiver in round one. I don't think that's what we're going to end up doing because it makes it very, very difficult to get the left tackle position secured for a day one this year if we don't pick him in the first round. But I wanted to put this together to see how I kind of saw it potentially falling out for us if we didn't draft the tackle one in the first round and we did go wide receiver. So we'll spoiler that obviously. Pick 11, we have CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, Oklahoma. I did do a video on the differences between CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. I think CeeDee Lamb is more of the explosive, spectacular play kind of guy. I think they're both great, and you wouldn't go wrong with either one. But CeeDee Lamb would be my pick at number 11. So now drop down to pick 48, and there was really no tackle that fell to me. I contemplated trading up, but I wanted to fill some needs on this team. So at pick 48, no tackle I really wanted, so I decided to trade down, try to accumulate another pick in the third round. So I traded with the Baltimore Ravens. I sent 48 to Baltimore for number 55 and pick 106, their third round compensatory pick. So at 55, still no tackle that I want. Nobody fell at that 48 like Ezra Cleveland or Josh Jones or any of those people. They're going to go bottom half of Austin Jackson. They're all going to go bottom half of the first round, very top of the second round. So they went before I was on the clock. So at pick 55, I went with Tyler Biadasz, center from Ohio State. I think this really helps the interior offensive line. I know McGovern has come over and said that he wants to play center. That's where he played last year. He did play guard the year before, but he's made it known that center is the position he would prefer to play, and we did just pay him a decent amount of money in free agency, so I can see them keeping him there at center. But maybe if Biadasz is competing and McGovern sees how much more successful the line could be if he were to bump back out to guard, maybe he'd be more inclined to do that, or maybe even Biadasz can bump out to guard as well. So it'll just be a lot more competition in that interior offensive line, give us some depth at the very least. That was really the best player available when I was picking that spot, and it's definitely a position that we still need to look to improve. We have Alex Lewis on a one-year deal. We have Van Roten on a shorter deal as well. All these deals that we signed this year are short. Even if they're 3 years, they're really not 3 years. We can get out of them very quickly. So getting somebody on a rookie deal to compete with those guys is great. So now pick 68 comes up, and do I think we're going to go with this position this early on? I don't, but the way the draft fell for me, I thought it was too good of a value to not take him. And with all the rumors swirling around Le'Veon Bell, how long will he be in the Jets uniform? This gives us an amazing 1-2 punch for this year and an immediate replacement if we do move on from Bell at the end of this year. So I went back to Ohio State, back-to-back picks, and got J.K. Dobbins. This guy is a great running back. I think he could be a day one starter in the league. Obviously, he's going to be the backup for us as Le'Veon Bell is still on this team. But he can work in with Bell, keep Bell fresh. Maybe I would love to see scenarios where they're both on the field at the same time if we ended up drafting him. Since Bell is such a great receiver, I think that you can kind of run two backs with him because he is seen as a legitimate weapon out of the backfield. So now pick 79. This is where I'm going to address the tackle position. I had us getting Matt Peart. He is a very tall and lanky swing tackle. He can play right or left. The reason he's fallen so far down is he does need to build up his strength. He needs to fill out his frame a little bit more if he's going to make it in the league and make it as a starting tackle, I should say. But this is the type of tackles that Adam Gase likes. He wants athletic people who can move well in space. And that is Peart. It's just he needs to fine-tune. Can he be a day one starter? Probably not. Could he compete on the right side with Chuma Edoga? Sure. Why not? But we'll see. Like I said, that's why it's really tough to get somebody that's going to because ideally I'd love that left tackle in this draft, and then move Fant to the right tackle spot and compete him with Chumadoga. But when you don't get him at pick 11, I think it's going to be really, really difficult to get that person unless you're trading up from 48, which I obviously didn't do here. So now pick 106. I had us picking Highsmith, the edge rusher from Charlotte. He's outside linebacker, 3-4 outside linebacker. I think that this was a good gamble this late in the draft, as he can be a situational pass rusher for us right out of the gate. He does need to build up on some size as well. He did play at Charlotte, Conference USA, not the biggest conference there, but he did produce, and he was very, very productive there. So now a leap from Conference USA to the NFL is a big leap. But if he gets in there in situational, we're not relying on him to be the starting 3-4 outside linebacker from day one, and just starts to learn and build into his body a little more. I mean, last year he had 21.5 tackles for losses and 14 sacks. Sorry. That's great production. So at pick 106, the compensatory pick at the end of the third round that I got, moving back from the 48 to 55, taking a Highsmith, is a lot of upside potential there. Pick 120, I went, since now I had Matt Pert as the tackle, I wanted to double dip on the tackle position with another player that I think has potential. And I picked Barch. He is actually from St. John's. You want to talk about small schools? He went to St. John's as a tight end, put on 75 pounds of, as reporters say, good weight, and moved to tackle and was playing left tackle. So he's got great size. He's over 300 pounds now, so definitely not too small for a tackle position. He put on that weight in the right way, built into his frame a little bit. The big downside with him is he went to a smaller school, and he's just learning the position of tackle, right? Coming from tight end to tackle, he's making that adjustment. This is somebody I absolutely would not see even probably competing for reps the first year. I think he's a developmental piece that in the fourth round can bring that potential to play that right tackle position. I think that's what your thoughts with him would be, is that whoever plays right tackle this year is the bridge to Barch potentially in a year or two. So at the very least, he'd be a very good depth piece. So at Barch, I picked 120. 159, I went with my second wide receiver of this draft, as we had CeeDee Lamb at number 11. I went with Colin Johnson from Texas. This guy is 6'6", the biggest wide receiver in the draft. Obviously, it's pretty late in the draft. A lot of the guys that I liked had already been off the board. But Johnson gives a big body target. He has issues with separation. He makes a lot of contested catches because of his size. He's not the most agile, not the fastest guy out there. But I think with that potential, the potential of a red zone threat, you're picking in the fifth round here, it's a decent chance that you take on a wide receiver. So now we go into the sixth round, pick 192. You guys probably know who I'm picking at 192. I picked him here almost every single draft. Rodrigo Blankenship, kicker from Georgia, solidifies our kicking spot for the next decade. Something we don't have to worry about. We will not be leaving points on the board anymore, at least not as often as we have been the last year. And pick 212, this is a new pick for me, Derek Tuszka, North Dakota State. He's an edge rusher. This is just another gamble as somebody that went to a smaller school, had a little production as an edge rusher. He could be a very solid special team player for us right out the gate, and then develop into potentially a rotational piece on defense. I don't ever envision him being a huge edge rusher in this league, but it is the sixth round, and special teams players are extremely important. Just look at the New England Patriots. They bring back Matthew Slater every single year. The guy is a special teams ace. So not saying that he is going to be what Slater is for us, but if he can contribute and be a solid contributor on special teams and eventually come into like the situational, rotational type player, it's worth it at pick 212. And again, you're taking gambles at this point in the draft anyway. So there you have it. To recap, at pick 11, I had CeeDee Lamb, 48, I traded to the Baltimore Ravens for pick 55 and pick 106. At 55, I picked Tyler Biadasz, the center from Ohio State. At pick 68, I picked, again, Ohio State's running back, J.K. Dobbins. Pick 79, I went with UConn's Matt Peart, offensive tackle. Pick 106, I went with Charlotte's edge rusher, Highsmith. Pick 120, I went with St. John's offensive tackle, Barch. Pick 159, I went with Texas wide receiver Colin Johnson. Pick 192, Georgia kicker Rodrigo Blankenship. And pick 212, Derek Tuska, edge rusher, North Dakota State. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That was my shot at picking the wide receiver in pick 11. Can't wait for Thursday. I will be putting up my videos right after our picks. I'm not going to live stream anything, but right after our picks, I will come out with my reaction to what we've done. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this. And as always, Jet up.